Hey, welcome to our class, and I have a video today for you. I can't be there today. I'm actually at the Region Service Center, so this works out pretty well. A little bit of a fill-in for today, an update on your stock track trading, and some new tools hopefully you can use to trade and make money. Now, what we're going to do is look today at, again, the stock track portfolio. I did something earlier today that I thought was a good idea. Didn't work exactly like I thought, but I pulled down all of your data and took a look today at how everybody's been doing. Now, there were some folks on the bottom of the list, let's just use Samuel as an example, that put in some crazy trades a couple of weeks ago and just buried themselves. Now, what you all were doing earlier were all almost making money, but that's because we were looking at a market that was actually kind of pretty easy. Buy low, and it was just moving up a little bit and sell high. However, what happened was we ended up with a crash in the commodity market, really related to the coronavirus. The stock market's gone as well down as the commodity market has. That's causing a lot of worry in the markets, trade, travel, lots of things, lots of hesitation, creates a lot of skepticism about the outlook in the immediate future. And so you end up with a big sell-off in lots of different areas and a big downward pressure. A lot of you lost some money. Some of you lost a lot, once again, Samuel, by making kind of crazy, big, lots of contract moves, thinking boom or bust. And that is just not a good strategy. You will lose most every time. Even if you gain, you'll end up probably doing it again and then losing it all, which is what happened. So I today went in and reset all of the accounts that were losing money. Now, what I didn't get right is that also reset not only your account and gave you money to get started again, but it actually also got rid of the trades and the past gains and losses. Not what I wanted. Now, I downloaded the data because I was looking at where everybody was, looking at trading notes and just kind of trying to take a peek. And so I've got kind of that saved, but you're starting again fresh. Now, some are not. Those of you that were doing really well are still there at the top with your trades and money, and so you've got to jump on everybody. But it gives those below a chance to maybe get started. So again, so better, hopefully. So what we're going to do is go over where you are in your ranks, and then I want to jump into some new tools I wanted to share with you on how you might find good times to buy or good times to sell. Let's take a look. All right, when I go into our stock track as a trader like you, you can see our top folks here. Cade, earning about $73,000 through the market swings and 36%. Very good job over a few months. Luke came from kind of down, back up, made good solid trades with 29 trades and about almost a little over 19.5% money, making almost 39, a little over 39,000. Jesse's come up with $31,000, but she hasn't made anything more than the original kind of 5 trades that she got in with. That's great. You're kind of holding that, but that's not going to score you well for our work here. You just kind of got in some commodities and stayed safe. Ben kind of got down and came back up at 22%, a little 11% return, 47 trades, so fairly aggressive in trading. And then there is my just base account that I don't really use. And then here are the other accounts that I've been using, and you can see they've all kind of gotten zeroed out. I put in one trade messing around today. And so you can see everybody's at 0 trades, $200,000. There is Samuel's account with his money to get him going, and the rest of you as well that were kind of in a bind. Now, that can get everybody started again, but those of you at the top didn't lose your money, left your accounts alone, and so you still got to jump on everybody. However, give some folks a fighting chance. Now, what are some other tools, other ways you can learn how to maybe find a good time to buy and a good time to sell or get a short? And that is going to be, of course, going and looking at the market. So if you go to the market and you choose any of these commodities, you can pull up, for example, agriculture, and you could go and pull up, for example, livestock, and you could go to, let's say, live cattle and look at the chart of live cattle. Now here is where live cattle has been, and what I want to show you is they have some tools here at the top to help you kind of try to get a feel for what things are like. There's one called indicators. If you choose indicators, it will pull up a list of indicators that people have calculated and published for people to use. One of them is called a Keltner channel or Keltner bands. So if you choose it, it will put some Keltner bands on the chart. And what is a Keltner band? It is a average price based on the whole history of this contract. The average price with a upper average and a lower average. You can think of these as standard deviation values. And the reason why they're there is try to help you figure out when commodity prices are low, and that's a good time to buy, or when commodity prices may be a little too high, and that's a good time to sell. Now, they're not a perfect science, and so as you go through here with the Keltner bands, live cattle is a good one. It's kind of tough to trade. With Keltner bands, they would like you to, let's see this one here, where the Keltner bands were outside of, the prices were outside of the Keltner bands, and then the prices, boom, hit the bottom level of the Keltner band. They identify that's a good time to buy. The market jumped up and it hit the top of the Keltner band as it kept calculating, and that's a good time to sell. Now, the market kind of drifted along here and then jumped outside of the Keltner bands, which is a time that you stay away from the prices because it's really hard to tell. Now, you can see the market came, kind of hit the Keltner band, and normally the upper band, if it comes and hits it, is a great time to sell. But you can see the market did not go down. It actually went right back up and kept going. So these are areas that didn't really work out, and so this isn't 100% foolproof, of course. Well, here in the middle of this, the market hit a price again and then did drop. The bottom did turn around and run back up again. Once it hit this upper Keltner band, it did drop again, and then it did run back up and hit it again, and then it went outside of it. It came back and hit it, dropped again, and so you can see their potential buy lows, sell highs, buy lows, and then it didn't really continue on, and then it broke outside. Well, when it broke outside, this is where you're looking for a buy, and sure enough, it hit the band, and it did go up. However, it turned right back around and ran right back down, and it's been outside of the Keltner band ever since. Now, you would hope this is a good chance to buy, but see how far away the prices are from the Keltner bands themselves? So really looks like live cattle doesn't show an opportunity to make a buy. Now, I went ahead and added Keltner bands to some other commodities to help. The other commodity I ran it on was crude oil, and this is going to be sweet crude for April. So if you look at the history, it doesn't matter as we run here. We are seeing the prices have been way outside of the Keltner bands, but we can see that recently it's moved close to the market. So the lower Keltner band, again, being a good buy potential, it looks like this could shape up to be a buy. And hopefully we'll see those prices move up and then play within these Keltner bands. If it gets to the top of the upper band, then I may want to go ahead and sell to get out. So it's got a potential buy or long position in crude oil. Let's go to another commodity I pulled up, and that was corn. And so if I go and pull up the corn futures, you can see where it is. It's hard to talk about low or high. You can see for the last day or two, we've had some big bumps in corn. But let's go look at what it looks like with the Keltner bands. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go Keltner channels, pull these up, close this out of my way. And then we can see that we are right in the middle of the Keltner bands. Kind of hard to really determine high price or low price. Kind of looks like that we might watch it if it goes up here and keeps working its way up. It could be a potential to sell. So this is just something just to watch for. You can go back in time a little bit and see that it did bump at the top of that Keltner band. And if someone did sell, it looks like in about a day or two, they got a good chance to cover and get out. Sell high and then buy back low to make money. Now, these opportunities here would have probably convinced us we should take a buy, but the market just ran up and ran right back down, and it hadn't done much since. Then it ran outside of the Keltner bands, and this is where it came and hit it and shot back up. So I think we've missed corn future trade, but we may look, if it hovers above this 386 number here, maybe it's a good time to take a sell again. All right, so Keltner bands, it's a way that you can go to the CME group, pick a commodity, pull that chart up of an area you're looking at, and then choose the plus key to add Keltner bands or Keltner channels to the graph. And then you get a little bit better perspective. Are prices high or are prices low? Well, the Keltner bands give you some perspective of high and low based on its history. So it's a way you might try to use to create some better trading strategies. Once again, stay away from making a lot of trades. Make sure that you trade a lot of contracts trades. Don't put in 10 contracts to buy or sell right away. Put in 2, put in 1. Start off small, figure out where you need to go from there. Don't put in a whole bunch really fast. If you do that consistently, also don't leave a lot of trades wide open for very long. If you got some profit, take some of that out. If you've got some losses, maybe try to build back into it, but don't get too deep in one commodity. All right, hopefully this helps you. Some of you that were doing bad can now get back in. Those of you doing really well, keep it up and try to stay on top. Thanks.